Science Daily, right? Today is Thursday, August 14th, 2025. Let's learn English by reading this article and memorize several words, key expressions, cliches, so that we could be versatile and competent when we talk to foreigners, right? When we communicate with them. This article is from ScienceDaily.com, and the title is Scientists Reverse the Memory Loss by Powering the Brain's Tiny Engines. I'm interested in the brain technology, brain therapy, brain treatment because back in 1993, it was May, and I was in the college library. I was a senior in mechanical engineering department, but I was pissed off at life and with myself, so I just clenched my jaws too tight in the library, right? I didn't scream, but suddenly I just clenched my jaws. I locked the jaws too hard, and then right there at the time, my blood circulation in the brain got weird, and there were like several streams of blood in my brain, wheezing here and there, left, right, front and back, and I got a headache. And ever since then, my brain, I feel like I got a brain fog. So you get really tired, like after 5-10 minutes of reading, focusing. And ever since then, kind of my life spiraled down, or spiraled horizontally instead of vertically, going up. So I'm interested in the brain memory reverse. This article was written August 12th, 2025. Source: INSERM, Instituto Nacional della Santa e della Ricerca Medicale. Summary: Scientists have discovered a direct cause and effect link between a faulty mitochondria and a memory loss seen in neurodegenerative diseases. By creating a novel tool to boost mitochondrial activity in mouse models, researchers restored memory performance, suggesting mitochondria could be a powerful new target for treatments. The findings not only shed light on the early drivers of brain cell degeneration, but also open possibilities for slowing or even preventing diseases like Alzheimer's. Interesting. Link between, so there's a faulty mitochondria and the memory loss. So they just boosted mitochondrial activity, right? In mouse models. And they were able to restore memory performance. A groundbreaking study links impaired mitochondria to dementia symptoms and shows that boosting mitochondrial activity can restore memory in animals. Mitochondria, the tiny organelles without which our bodies would be deprived of energy, are gradually revealing their mysteries. In a new study published in Nature Neuroscience, researchers from INSERM and the University of Bordeaux at the Neurocenter Magendie, in collaboration with researchers from the University of Moncton in Canada, have for the first time succeeded in establishing a causal link between mitochondrial dysfunction and the cognitive symptoms associated with neurodegenerative diseases. Thanks to the creation of a specific and unprecedented tool, they succeeded in increasing mitochondrial activity in animal, right? Models of neurodegenerative diseases where they observed an improvement in memory deficit symptoms. While these are only initial results, they open the door to considering mitochondria as a new therapeutic target. The mitochondrion is a small intracellular organelle that provides the energy needed by the cell to function properly. The brain is one of the most energy-demanding organs, and neurons rely on the energy produced by mitochondria to communicate with one another. Indeed, when mitochondrial activity is impaired, neurons do not have the energy required to function correctly. Wow, so probably mitochondria organelle, right? I think organelle means small organs, very minute organs. Mitochondria is not an organ, but basically it's just element of an element, right? Organelle. So probably the mitochondria in my brain were damaged. In Alzheimer's disease, neurodegenerative diseases are characterized by progressive impairment of neural functions, leading to the death of brain cells. In Alzheimer's disease, for example, it has been observed that neuronal degeneration, which precedes cell death, is accompanied by impaired mitochondrial activity. However, due to the lack of suitable tools, it has been difficult in the past to determine whether mitochondrial alterations play a causal role in these conditions or are simply a consequence of the pathophysiological process. In this new study, researchers from INSERM and the Université de Bordeaux, in collaboration with researchers from the University de Moncton in Canada, developed for the first time a tool that allows to temporarily stimulate mitochondrial activity. They hypothesized, that if this stimulation led to an improvement of symptoms in animals, this would mean that the impairment of mitochondrial activity precedes the loss of neurons in the context of neurodegenerative disease. In previous studies, in the context of, that's good expression, right? In the context of neurodegenerative disease. In the context of something, right? In context of something. In previous studies, the research teams already described the specific role of G proteins in the modulation of mitochondrial activity in the brain. In the present paper, the researchers succeeded in generating an artificial receptor called mitochondria Gs, able to activate an artificial receptor called mitochondria Gs, able to activate G proteins directly in the mitochondria, thereby stimulating mitochondrial activity. The stimulation of mitochondria Gs in the brain led to a normalization of both mitochondrial activity and memory performance of dementia mouse models. This work is the first to establish a cause and effect link between mitochondrial dysfunction and symptoms related to neurodegenerative diseases, suggesting that impaired mitochondrial activity could be at the origin of the onset of neuronal degeneration, explains Giovanni Massicano, interim research director and co-senior author of the study. These results will need to be extended, but they allow us to better understand the important role of mitochondria in the proper functioning of our brain. Ultimately, the tool we developed could help us identify the molecular and cellular mechanisms responsible for dementia and facilitate the development of effective therapeutic targets, explains Etienne Herbert, Chatelain professor at the Université de Moncton and co-senior author of the study. Our work now consists of trying to measure the effects of continuous stimulation of mitochondrial activity to see whether it impacts the symptoms of neurodegenerative diseases and ultimately delays neuronal loss or even prevents it if mitochondrial activity is restored, added Luigi Bellocchio, interim researcher and co-senior author of the study. Notes: G proteins have the specific role of enabling the transfer of information within cells. Story source: materials provided by INSERM, Institut National de la Santé et de la Recherche Médicale. Note: content may be edited for style or length. So it's more like a technical article, but we learned that in the context of degenerative neuroscience, right, or dementia, in the context of, well, that's it. Have a great Thursday. Tomorrow is off day for us. It's a holiday.